Do you show that?
N02.
Thank you.
We are good.
All right, I'm going to call this meeting of the Transportation Committee to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Covert. Evans.
Here.
Garcia. Ozog.
Here.
Tornatori.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
Okay. Next, moved on to public comment. Do we have any?
None.
None? Okay. Next, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Paula. Welcome.
Let's do it.
I move to,
You can skip that call.
okay, a quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes or the business of the board, family or other emergency or unexpected childcare obligations to participate by video or teleconference. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Okay, aye. And motion carries. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you.
And you is joining us too. Okay, great. All right, so I move to approve the minutes of the Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 Transportation Committee meeting.
Second.
I have a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Next, we would like to recognize Highway Permits Manager David Furry for 25 years. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Great. Come on up, Dave. So Dave is our highway permit manager, and as you just heard, he's been with the county for 25 years. Dave oversees not only our highway permit technicians, but also our front desk staff and manages the entire permit program. In recent years, Dave's been responsible for rolling out our Acela permitting software within DOT, our Oxcart overweight truck permitting software, and generally streamlining and improving our operations. He's very collaborative and innovative in working with other departments, trying to find the best solution to problems that are shared between our departments, and also trying to make sure that we can interact smoothly with one another. Dave is one of our on-call snowplow drivers and is part of our drone team as well within DOT as a certified pilot. Dave is one of the folks who knows the history of pretty much every county highway. And that comes in very handy as he works with our team and our businesses, our developers, and our residents. So we're very pleased to recognize Dave for his 25 years with DuPage County.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. Congratulations, Dave. Next, we move on to procurement requisitions. I move for approval of DTP 001225. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to National Auto Fleet Group to furnish and deliver one Ford Expedition for the Division of Transportation for the period February 25, 2025 through November 8th, 2025 for a contract total not to exceed $65,216.88. Contract pursuant to Intergovernmental Cooperation Act.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, we have some amending resolutions. I move for approval of 250478, amendment to resolution DTP 0193D18 issued to BLA Incorporated for professional design engineering services for improvements along County Highway 9 Lamont Road from 83rd Street to 87th Street to increase the funding in the amount of $54,999.18, resulting in an amended contract total amount of $613,110.37, an increase of 9.85%, and a cumulative increase of 38.89%.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Mr. Zimmer?
We're getting everybody decreasing. Why is this increasing? And this is a contract from 2018. I mean, I assume this project's complete.
Yeah, so that's the issue. It's been live since 2018. It's been repeatedly delayed, primarily because of right-of-way issues. And because of that delay, some of those studies have to be revisited, including the U.S. Army Corps permit and a couple other things. So it's really been a right-of-way issue that has prevented us from moving forward.
So this is a new submittal from BLA for costs?
So yes, it's a supplement to increase to cover those changes that are necessary to update all the studies to bring us back in compliance so we can get the project led. And we are hoping to get that project led in the coming couple of months, maybe by the fall.
Okay. Long time. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
aye,
Okay, next I move for approval of 250442, amendment to resolution DTP 019219 issued to Farnsworth Group for professional traffic signal design engineering services for various locations to decrease the funding in the amount of $64,524.32 and close, resulting in a final county cost of $335,475.68, a decrease of 16.13%.
Second.
I have a second. Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Okay, next I move for approval of 250443, amendment to resolution DTP 033719 issued to Atlas Engineering Group for professional preliminary design engineering services for various locations to decrease the funding in the amount of $56,471.66 and close, resulting in a final county cost of $193,528.34, a decrease of 22.59%.
Second.
Any comments or questions about this? Okay, all in favor?
aye,
All right, next we have an intergovernmental agreement. I move for approval of DTR 000125, intergovernmental agreement between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network, providing for membership in the IPWMA network, county annual fee $500, Division of Transportation.
Second.
Second, any comments or questions about this? I have a question. I'm curious why this would have been on Public Works this morning as well as, I think, was this
JPS.
JPS as well, so.
Yeah, and perhaps stormwater as well. So DOT is gonna move this forward as kind of the lead here. But it's countywide. So if another agency needed aid
Okay,
and Public Works could respond, they would respond.
Okay.
And the fee is minimal, so DOT is gonna cover it.
okay, got it. Any other questions? All right, everyone, all in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Next, we have a presentation. We are going to talk about our trail, our Prairie Path and Great Western Trail speed and signage study.
Morning, committee. My name is Melissa Kauskas. I'm the senior transportation planner here. As Mary mentioned, here to talk about some trail updates, mainly looking at the speed that we have on the trails and some signage. Next slide. So over the last year, the county received multiple complaints about the e-bikes and use onto the trail, but mainly regarding the speed that these e-bikes are going. So in order to get an understanding of how many cyclists are out there that are speeding and what the actual speeds are, we determined to go out to do 5 speed counts at different locations between July and August of 2024. Locations included 4 along the Illinois Prairie Path, near Prairie Path Lane in Elmhurst, Army Trail Road in Wayne, Longfellow Avenue in Glen Ellen, and near County Farm Road in Wheaton. And then we also did one along the Great Western Trail near Swift Road in Lombard. These locations were determined based on their popularity with trail users and the lack of roadway crossings. So it was sections where there was an undisturbed section of trail where we would expect that people are going at their highest speeds. Additionally, the speed counts were done during different days of the week at different times, whether it was early in the morning, mid-afternoon, or late afternoon, so we can get as many trail users as possible. Next slide. So of the 5 speed counts, we saw a total of 121 bicyclists. Of that, 88% were pedal cyclists and 12% were electric bikes, which is more than we have seen in years past. The average speed of the e-bikes was 15.75 miles per hour, with the highest speed that we saw was 22.5 miles per hour, while the average speed of a pedal cyclist was 12.15 miles per hour, with the highest speed that we saw was 20.57 miles per hour. So overall, while we are seeing e-bikes going at higher speeds on average, we are seeing pedal cyclists going at high speeds on occasion.
Was that the chair that was doing the 20.5?
I can only reach 20 miles per hour on my e-bike. Carry on, Melissa.
So as a way to address the high speeds of the cyclists, we wanted to come up with trail signage to remind users of safe speed, but also took the opportunity to provide general use of the trail and etiquette rules. So this is the sign that we've created. The trail logo and color will follow the brand standards that is outlined in the DuPage County Trails Plan, where the Illinois Prairie Path is green, the Great Western Trail is orange, and the Southern DuPage Regional Trail is blue. The signage will have a posted recommended speed with the note, "Do not exceed safe travel speeds." While this is not a speed limit, it is, the yellow sign indicates an advisory sign rather than regulatory, but it still brings attention, so hopes that people will see it and keep to the slower speeds. And as I mentioned, we wanted to use this sign to remind users of general trail etiquette. So we included information about announcing when passing and pass on the left, moving off the trail when stopped, keeping pets leashed, throwing trash away in receptacles, and also listed the prohibited activities of the trails, such as camping, alcoholic beverages, and unauthorized motor vehicles. The sign will also include a QR code for people to scan, which will bring them to the DuPage County Citizen Reporter, where they can directly put any maintenance issues, or they can call the number listed, which brings them to the maintenance dispatch line, where they can talk to somebody directly. Again, these signs are only advisory and not regulatory signs, and they've been approved by the state's attorney's office. We initially planned to have 5 12 by 24 signs near trailheads or locations with the highest amount of trail users based on our most recent trail count information. And so because I mentioned it, so our most recent trail count information was done last year, where we completed the first comprehensive trail user count, which was done through the IDOT statewide planning and research grant. The effort included surveying about 40 locations around the county, which tracks the total number of bicyclists and pedestrians that were seen at the given location on a weekend during the summer. The results have been updated to the DuPage Trail app, which you can see a snippet of on the slide, where the bigger orange circles showed areas with the highest use, where we saw a couple thousands of users of bicyclists and pedestrians during the weekend in the summer. And finally, if anyone wanted to see more information in the full report, it can be found on the county's website under the Division of Transportation recently completed planning projects. Any questions or comments that I can take?
I have one comment about the sign.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is able to be added to this, but should we have some reference to 911?
Yeah,
For
so
a
we are
safety- or
planning
would you
on
do a
putting
separate-
a little sign right under the trail sign that says for emergencies, call 911.
So you'd just do on the
Yeah,
same post?
it'll be a smaller
separate.
just underneath it. So
Okay.
call 911, it'll be like white with red lettering.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair. Not on this committee, but thanks for your presentation. I'm happy to see that you included horses at the bottom of that list. Got a relationship with a lot of horses, so 2 questions on that is, can we kind of add a little 8 to 1,200 pound animals are a little unpredictable, so use caution, I guess. I know that's a little big for your sign.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I hear this a lot, and so a good retort or comment back. All kinds of people complain about horses pooping on the trails. And I try to explain to them that it's impossible to dismount and pick up 10 pounds of horse poop, remount, carry it off, not to mention that there's no E. coli there, so it's good for the flora and fauna. So anything you can, because
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy the number of people that tell me that.
We can definitely add something or kind of figure out a sign that might be able to, on like the areas that might have more
More
trails.
horse trail.
Yeah, because I know that's not something that every portion of the trail sees. But
There's a
on
lot
the
of
one by Wayne, I
Bikes
know.
really zoom past horses and that scares me. So
You have circle with a horse and like dropping
So,
coming out of it like that.
There-
And I'm like,
But a
no.
good horse,
Yeah.
you don't even know they're doing that as they walk. So it's not like, yeah, good horses poop and
We
walk.
can,
at
we
the
can
same
check
time.
into those issues.
Could we encourage horse diapers? Sorry.
It's good for it's great fertilizer.
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, Member Zay.
Yeah, it's good fertilizer, but I'm sure it's not great on the bottom of your shoe or your tire, but no, thank you. We are concerned about this. This looks great. Those signs will be, I think will go a long way for our concerns about this. So we appreciate your guys' efforts and it looks great.
Yeah, I think, and putting up 15 miles an hour is at least it's something that
Yeah.
we've advised. So
Another reason to go to home rule.
there you go. We could go to 11 miles an hour. Member Evans.
Thank you, Chair. I have two questions. One is, do we know, I think we're trying to be more cognizant about putting up QR codes because somebody might, it's out in public, somebody might put a sticker over that, put a malicious QR code.
Yeah.
Are we pulling back from that as a county? I don't know. I don't know who's kind of looking over that policy, but those are kind of considered a big risk now. And then, number two, 12 by 24, it seems a little small, especially if somebody's kind of riding past it. Is it, have we looked into bigger signs or do you think 12 by
We
24?
have looked into, so we went through a few iterations of this sign. We originally put it on like 12 by 18, printed it out, kind of walked back how far, kind of 10 feet behind, see how fast it would be. So we kind of didn't want it to be so big as a trail user where it was kind of almost too distracting and something that people could potentially run into. And we kind of settled on this where it's pretty long and based on the information, if you step back pretty far, you can still read all the information, but also wanting to encourage some people maybe stop and read it too.
This is 22 inches, 8.5 by 11. So,
Yeah.
and then
I
you
mean,
said by 12.
Yeah.
12 by
So-
24, just a little bigger than that.
I think it would be
that's a lot of
sufficient.
information on that
Yeah.
side.
See, I think I'm agreeing. with
Well, I would
you.
say, and we've looked into it, we haven't made a final decision there. Generally, the signs we're used to seeing as motorists are really huge. And, with this kind of environment, with the relatively low speeds, people walking, riding their bike, they can more easily slow down, even stop, get the information they want and then keep going. And we do, as Melissa said, want to be cognizant not to put something out there people are gonna run into either. So, it's a balance. So we'll double check that we've got the right size. We've talked about it a couple times.
And I think we should leave the QR code on for now, and if we find that that's a problem, then we can always just put our own a blank sticker up there, and you still have the phone number to call for maintenance.
Yeah.
So I think it would be fine. So, I think this really works out well, but I do like the 15 miles an hour. I go 20 sometimes, but only on long stretches.
Downhill with the wind behind you.
I'm sorry.
Downhill with the wind behind you.
That's right, indeed. So, but it is, this is an issue. I live in downtown Glen Ellen. It's an issue everywhere. And why people are buying 9-year-olds, scooters, electric scooters and bicycles. That's a societal issue I can't even touch yet. So whatever, but this is great and I appreciate it. So I also live right next to the Prairie Pass. If you want me to do council time, I'm
Need
available.
your help next time we do a few extra.
I'll be happy to be out
Nice
there.
sunny
So.
day, sitting out there with some lemonade or.
Lemonade, not an alcoholic beverage. That's right. So, but thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
is great information to have. And it is less speed out there than I would have thought. So I would like to know those. I do see these non-electric bikes going 20, 25 miles an hour. They're really, yeah, they're out there. So any other comments or questions about the report? Okay, thanks a lot. Melissa. Really appreciate it. Okay, anything else? Let's see, any old business? Any new business? Okay, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
Okay,